Alright, let's get started. Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot, titled The Seinfeld Chronicles, also known as Good News, Bad News. Before we get into it, we should note that this is the only episode where Elaine isn't yet a character, where Kramer is actually named Kessler, and where the famous coffee shop is instead a diner with a waitress named Claire, played by Lee Garlington. The basic plot is that Laura tells Jerry she's coming into town and wants to stay with him.
That was her. She wants to stay here.
Jerry and George debate the signals Laura's giving off to try to determine if she's romantically interested in him. And it appears that she is.
Hey!
But then, just as they're settling onto the couch together, each with a glass of wine in hand, she tells Jerry that she's engaged.
Never get engaged.
You're engaged?
The character of Laura was played by Pamela Brull. After Seinfeld, Brull was in a short-lived television show called Malloy, where she worked with a very young Jennifer Aniston and an even younger Mayim Bialik.
Today's my special day. The world revolves around me.
Incidentally, Mayim played the younger Cece Bloom in Beaches alongside of Bette Midler, a role that's actually referenced later in Seinfeld. Brull played the role of Jane Kowalski in Silent Cries, a feature film about the Japanese occupation of Singapore during World War II.
Put away! There's a difference!
She'd previously managed to land a small recurring role on the hit series Growing Pains, and played a co-worker of Maggie Seaver's named Thelma.
I didn't read it. That way I don't get involved.
Maggie Seaver, of course, played by Joanna Kearns. She also went on to play Amanda Dobbs in an episode of Matlock.
Miss Dobbs? Hi. I'm Ben Matlock. I'm a lawyer.
Good. Sue the police department.
Gwen Barrett in an episode of Saved by the Bell, The New Class.
My son has a date with Stardom.
Finally! Well, let's get started before he's old enough to shave.
And then a handful of smaller roles.
I'm sorry, I'm having a personal crisis.
Her last role was in 1997 doing voice work for Extreme Ghostbusters, an animated series that ran for just one season.
Egon, you may not want to come in for a few minutes. It might be dangerous.
And that's Pamela Brull.